So we got Mac Attack XRP with this. South Koreans bet big on XRP Dogecoin as easing trade war fuels risk-taking. So this is, where the market is going just based on the latest news. If you guys didn't catch this morning's video, I do suggest you watch it. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Korean crypto markets are experiencing a rally influenced by a $1 billion short squeeze and improving geopolitical sentiment. So here's what we know so far, okay? Retail traders in South Korea are piling into XRP and Dogecoin specifically, in a sign of returning risk-on sentiment among speculative traders. Trading volumes of the two tokens on local exchanges crossed Bitcoin's and Ethereum's in the past 24 hours. So it's looking like a lot of that South Korean volume is entering XRP and Dogecoin specifically, ignoring Bitcoin and Ethereum. I guess these South Korean traders are looking for bigger gains than if they were to invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum. It is part of this speculative mindset, though. The surge comes amid renewed risk-on sentiment across crypto and equity markets as U.S.-China trade tensions ease and macro indicators point to possible rate cuts later this year. So that is the secondary factor, guys. Possible rate cuts, which Jerome Powell hasn't said that he hasn't said he's going to do anything yet. Trump has been pressuring him to cut rates, so I guess we'll have to see about that. Both XRP and Doge have climbed more than 15% over the past week, outpacing Bitcoin's 10% move, while Ethereum has soared nearly 40%, making its biggest weekly gain since 2021. That is what we've been waiting. That was what we were waiting for Ethereum. But Ethereum, guys, here, let's just take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's important to look at, even if you guys aren't trading it. And you guys are probably going to hate this even more because, I talk about Bitcoin a lot. And there's a few people in the comment sections that, why do you talk about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's, we're not invested in that. And Bitcoin's important, guys. Bitcoin is really important because it is the pulse of the market. It is the granddaddy. It sets the tone for the rest of the crypto space. And Ethereum, second largest, it is also a good indication of where, or it used to be a good indication of where markets are going to go next. And so Ethereum, guys, has not even breached its all-time high. Bitcoin's breached its all-time high. XRP has hit its all-time high, technically breaching it, and then coming back down. But Ethereum, guys, take a look at this. Ethereum never did breach its all-time high, and so to see Ethereum ramping up at this point in time is actually it's actually quite good. It has only gotten about 15% from its all-time high. So now that we're seeing the biggest move for Ethereum since 2021, that is a really big deal. Here's a quote: "Risk assets have recovered sharply to levels that are now challenging even the most ardent bears." This coming from Augustine Fan, head of insights at crypto options platform Signal Plus. He goes on to say, "We believe the pain trade remains to be higher prices until more macro bears throw in the towel." Upbit, the biggest crypto exchange by trading volume in Korea, shows 24-hour volumes on the Korean won and XRP, and same with Doge, exceeding $250 million, while those for Bitcoin and Ethereum remain under $150 million. So we do have the concept of the kimchi premium. Euphoric retail phases in Korea's crypto market, often dubbed the kimchi premium era, where local investors aggressively chased high volatility assets. They're saying that this is what this pattern does mirror. Korean crypto markets have long served as a bellwether for retail sentiment. The move also coincides with a broader market rally fueled by a massive $1 billion short squeeze last week as over-leveraged positions were forcibly closed amid surging prices. So there's a lot involved here. There's a lot going on. Of course, the tariffs also playing into this quite significantly. And South Korean investors realizing, hey, this is an opportunity to purchase, some of these cryptocurrencies that we think are going to remain strong throughout the next several months into the euphoria phase. And guys, for more information on what I think for this particular bull run, wow, XRP up to $2.46 as of the time of this recording. You can follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. That's where I'm outlining my strategy, my plan, where my targets are going to be, how I'm treating this bull run, because if it does go from spec to real-world utility, I'm going to be changing up my strategy, and boom, just like that, I'm going to be letting all my Patreon subscribers know exactly how I'm going to be changing up that strategy. So patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you're interested. One of the altcoins that is in my legacy portfolio that I do talk about occasionally over there on the Patreon is VeChain. And guys, they've been quietly building what capital markets will need next. So a sleeping giant, as maybe some would say, a renowned VeChain proponent and ambassador, Sebastian Rock, has taken to X to explain why heavyweight institutions managing huge capital are missing out on VeChain. So I don't know, did you guys see this thread here by Sebastian Rock? If you're managing capital and not watching VeChain, you're missing the infrastructure play of the decade. So, guys, it's not just about XRP. I know I don't talk about some of these other cryptocurrencies as much, but I do hold some. And, for all my Patreon subscribers, you guys know which ones I hold. 99% of crypto is noise, but VeChain is the signal. While others flex narratives, VeChain builds quietly beneath. So carbon markets, customer loyalty, regulatory frameworks, ESG compliance. They're not betting on hype. You're not betting on hype. You're front-running what capital markets will need next. He goes on to say the smartest capital doesn't bet on attention, it bets on inevitability. VeChain isn't loud, it doesn't trend, but it does power clean behavior scoring, supply chain verification, real-world asset traceability, and every macro trend, so ESG, digital ID, green finance, etc. VeChain isn't fighting for market share, it's wiring the market's foundation. While L1's race for TVL, VeChain quietly logs recycled bottles, EV charges, carbon offsets, loyalty transactions, etc. This is data infrastructure, okay? Not a speculative platform. It's already being used, just not by the people who watch the charts. So, a slow move into real-world utility for this particular cryptocurrency. ESG capital will demand proof, so VeChain is already hosting it. Trillions are moving towards verified sustainability, supply chain transparency, circular economy audits. This isn't a token bet, it's a ledger bet. When funds need ESG audit trails, carbon accountability, loyalty, verification, they'll need VeChain, not for speculation, for survival. VeChain is a compliance hedge, a reputation infrastructure, a truth primitive. Interesting way to describe a crypto. Every institution allocator will soon ask, how do we verify impact, and and if you're already plugged into VeChain, you'll own the only receipts they can trust. What they call boring will soon be the standard. VeChain doesn't shill, it doesn't spike, it doesn't beg, but it logs more real-world data, loyalty partners, and carbon events than any chain alive. This isn't L1 hype, it's financial infrastructure in motion. The capital flow will be silent until it's violent, and this is important because we are not seeing the institutions jumping in right away, and I think partially the reason could be that institutions just don't know about some of these cryptocurrencies. You have VeChain here, and it's not, what number is it? Even let's just take a look. Is it in the top? Yeah, top 40. Okay, it's number 40 right now. So we'll call it top 50. It's not very visible currently. And so, this is maybe why we're not seeing too many institutions investing yet. I mean, I'm sure some people do already know about it. But in terms of the sentiment, guys, institutions don't tweet, they don't hype. They move billions in silence towards regulatory clarity and infrastructure with receipts. VeChain is where the money will land, and it's already priced like it won't. If you wait for the flippening, you're already going to be too late. You don't wait for infra plays to trend. You accumulate before they recognize it is critical. Exactly why we were getting into XRP when we were. It isn't a hype coin, it's a civilization layer, and capital will need it, whether they're ready or not. So all very great information here regarding this particular cryptocurrency VeChain, one of those ones that I do hold in my legacy portfolio, but also part of the $15,000 plus portfolio that I hold over there that you guys can take a peek at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. On top of which, look at this, okay, VeChain, this one from Crypto Busy. VeChain Official was included on Grayscale's list of digital assets for future investment products. So Grayscale is also already taking a look at VeChain. This came out last month, but I thought it was important to show you guys, to remind you that this is going to eventually gain institutional interest. As a leading crypto-focused asset manager, introducing investors to a diverse array of investable digital assets is an important part of our mission. Accordingly, we're excited to share the list of assets under consideration for inclusion in future Grayscale investment products, along with an up-to-date list of assets that are already part of our family. Both lists are grouped according to our Grayscale Crypto Sectors Framework,